On my mirror, start to blush when somebody says your name. In my stomach there's a pain. You walk in my direction, I go the other way.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kaylin. Today's video is going to be all about the books that I want to read this summer. Now I know it's already July and we only have 2 months left, but through July and August I have a lot of weeks in a row off. So sporadically I think I have 2 weeks in July off, and then I think I have 2 weeks in August off, and then I don't know, maybe count like the beginning of September because I do have a vacation week as well then. So I have 3 solid weeks to get through like 3 solid like months to get through all these books, and not all of them are big, and I'm really trying to incorporate like schedule time, like maybe not waking up early but trying to read for at least like an hour or so a day. I have been reading a lot less lately because just trying to like soak up the summer, soak up being with family friends. I've been reading a lot of like my Christian books, so that's been taking up like my mornings and night times, but I just do want to incorporate getting back into my fiction books. There's a big gap here, so a lot of these books I did not buy any new, I think, except for 2 that I bought like maybe a month or so ago, or a few weeks ago. But other than that, it's like books that I need to read, books that I said I wanted to read, books that I like maybe have started reading but didn't finish reading, like as in like not even the first chapter. But yeah, some of them are lighthearted, some of them are like have a serious or like, you know, complex storyline. I just need something to hook me in because I've honestly been scared to start reading certain books because I'm like, I don't want to be put into a slump. But I think I have a good variety. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books, so it's not too bad. I have 10 books to get through for 3 months. I'm being very leisurely. I'm not giving myself like any goal for the month. Like I just want to read for leisure and like relax this summer because the beginning of the year took your girl out. So let's get right into it. The first book is Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. This is one that I picked up like instantly. I think I actually started, yeah, I started and I'm on chapter 2. So like we'll go back and start all over again. So when Sophie Steinbeck finds out just before her nuptials that her fiance has cheated yet again, she desperately wants to call it off, but because her father-in-law is also her dad's cutthroat boss, she can't be the one to do it. Her savior comes in form of a professional objector whose purpose is to show up at weddings and proclaim the words no couple usually wants to hear at their ceremony: I object. During anti-wedding festivities that night, Sophie learns more about Max, the objector's job. It makes perfect sense to her. He saves people from wasting their lives, from hurting each other. He's a modern-day hero, and Sophie wants in. 2 love cynics start working together, going from wedding to wedding, and Sophie's having more fun than she's had in ages. She looks forward to every nerve-wracking ceremony where they say the lovesick souls of the patrol masses. As Sophie and Max spend more time together, however, they discover that their physical chemistry is off the charts, leading them to dabble in a little hookup session or 2, but it's totally fine because they definitely do not have feelings for each other. Love doesn't exist after all. And then everything changes. A groom-to-be hires Sophie to object, but his fiance is the woman who broke Max's heart. As Max wrestles with whether he can be a party to his ex getting hurt, Sophie grapples with the sudden realization that she may have fallen hard for her partner in crime. So like, how fun filled does this seem, and like romantic? Like, this seems interesting and I am very excited to read it. It's not very long at all. It is 275 pages, so like I said, a lot of these aren't like that long. Next, I'm scared for this one, y'all. The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden, or Sister Frida as everybody calls her on here. She is great when it comes to like the mystery thrillers, whatever. This is the 3rd book of the series. I have read them all, so it's like, you know, I have to finish it out. But I've heard a lot of mixed reviews and that makes me so nervous for this. Like, I've seen a lot of reviews that were saying like, oh, this was, you know, expected, or I guessed this, or, you know, it wasn't as, you know, hyped up as usually her books are. And I just saw a lot of mixed reviews. I did see good ones as well, and I do have a coworker that said that she liked it and she rated it 4 stars, so I trust her. I'm giving it a go. I'm gonna read it regardless because you gotta finish the series you start. At least I feel like I do. So yeah, I'm not gonna read the back because it's a 3rd in the series and it gives away some things that, you know, if you didn't read the first 2, it would kind of ruin in a way for you. So I'm not gonna read it, but just know this is a 3rd book of the Housemaid series. So next is Kim Cash Tate, If I Believe. I've actually had this series since, I've had all 4 books since last fall, I want to say, after I attended attended a Christian conference. It was the Women Evolve conference by Sarah Jakes Roberts. Book club was reading the first book, and that's what got me into this series. I read the first one, loved it, thought it was so good. It like goes through all these women's lives who attend a conference, and their lives like interconnect, and you just get to see them go through like the struggles and lean on God and see how God's working in their lives. So that one was really good. This one is the second one, and it's If I Believe, Sometimes the Biggest Risk is Daring Hope, and it takes you through 4 people again. And I'm not going to read the back because it spoils some things that happened in the first book for some of the characters that are in it again. So this is the second book of the series. I'm excited to start. Like I said, some of them are series that I need to start. And like y'all, I have my bookmarks in it ready for like chapter 1, and I just haven't picked it up. So next we're gonna have a little Kennedy Ryan segment because I've had these books for a while. I need to read them. So Kennedy Ryan, When You Are Mine. This is a couple books. I don't know the order. I guess I should probably check before I start. Karis Morton knows how to make things work. Bounced from foster home to foster home as a kid, she adapted. And when opportunity arose, she thrived. Now about to open her own business and accept a marriage proposal, Karis is ready to build the life she's always wanted. The only thing missing, a passionate connection with her would-be fiance, Cam. Karis wants to believe that sparks are overrated until Walsh Bennett lights her up like the 4th of July. As one of the East Coast's most eligible bachelors, Walsh enjoys financial independence, fulfilling work with his family's nonprofit, and plenty of female attention. But lately he's been distracted by the one woman he can't have. Lovely to look at and even sweeter to know, Karis is a soulmate Walsh never thought he would find. The problem is his best friend found her first. Oh Lord. So like, see, this is juicy. We're gonna get into that. Kennedy Ryan, love her books. Love her books, okay? I still need to read the second book of the Before I Let Go series, so yeah, I need to get on that. But I'll probably save that for the fall. Next of Kennedy Ryan, we have Long Shot. This I've had for a long time. I don't know why I haven't read it, but this is like a basketball romance. It's a hoops novel. It's a whole series. Iris Dupree meets August West in a sports bar during her last semester of college. It's a conversation of a lifetime and sends sparks flying in every direction. The connection is undeniable, but the timing is all wrong. August is poised for the NBA draft, and Iris belongs to another man, basketball's golden boy and August's longtime rival. The two go their separate ways, but they often recall that electric night and what could have been. While August has embarked all his all-star life studded with wealth and fame, Iris's perfect public relationship has become a nightmare behind closed doors, a tarnished dream of fool's gold. When August re-enters her life, the world seems briefly bright again, but Iris's darkest nights are not over yet. To survive, she must build her own strength and trust that her bond with August can endure after all this time, even when her fraudulent prince has vowed to never let her go. So like, this is serious, okay? This is gonna be deep, but I am looking forward to it because a lot of people have told me like I need to just hurry up and read it. Next we have Brittany Cherry. She is an author that I read one of her books. I read a Christmas one by her. But anyway, I think I might have read another one by her too. I can't remember, but I know Shaughnessy, she like raves about Brittany Cherry. That's how I figured out who she was. This book is called Disgrace. After 15 years together, he walked away from me and into the arms of another. I didn't know how to cope. I didn't know my worth. I didn't know how to exist without him by my side. All I wanted was for him to come back to me. Then Jackson Emery appeared. He was supposed to be a distraction for my mind, a summer fling, a confidence boost to my heart, to my bruised heart. We were perfect for one another because we both knew we wouldn't last. Jackson didn't believe in commitment, and I no longer believed in love. He was too closed off for me, and I was too damaged for him. Everything was fine until one night my heart skipped a beat. I didn't expect him to make me laugh, to make me think, to make my sadness somewhat disappear. When our time was up, my heart didn't know how to walk away. Each day I prayed for my husband to love me again, yet slowly my prayers began to shift towards the man who wasn't right for me. I prayed for one more smile, one more kiss, one more laugh, one more touch. I prayed for him to be mine, even though I knew his heart wasn't destined to love. Oh, this is the beginning part. Each day I prayed for my husband to love me again, even though I knew his heart wasn't destined to love. Oh, that sounds so deep. Okay, we're gonna get into that. I might need some tissues, okay? Next, Be Treat. Be Treat is another one. This was actually one of the book club picks for my job's book club. I was gonna read it, y'all. I was gonna read it and I just never picked it up. So I still have to read it. This is by Emily Henry. There's always things about Emily Henry. Like, you either love her or you don't. Now, I did like the last one that I read by her, Happy Place. I loved it. I really enjoyed that book thoroughly. And another one of my coworkers said she liked it. Some didn't. So it's like mixed reviews. Augustus Everett is acclaimed author of literary fiction. January Andrews writes best-selling romance. When she pens a happily ever after, he kills off his entire cast. They're polar opposites. In fact, the only thing they have in common is that for the next 3 months, they're living in neighboring beach houses, broke and bogged down with writer's block. Then one hazy evening, one thing leads to another, and they strike a deal designed to force him out of their creative ruts. Augustus will spend the summer writing something happy, and January will pen the next great American novel. She'll take him on field trips worthy of any rom-com montage, and he'll take her to interview surviving members of Backwoods Death Cult, obviously. Everyone will finish a book, and no one will fall in love. Really? Okay. Now, that sounds like I'll be more receptive to that right now. Like, that's a good summer read. So next, The Love Hypothesis. Y'all have seen this book before. I've talked about it, and I still haven't read it. So we gotta read it, okay? As a third-year PhD candidate, Olive Smith doesn't believe in lasting romantic relationships, but her best friend does. And that's what got her into the situation. Convincing I don't know how to say that Olive is dating and well on her happy way to happily ever after was always going to take more than hand-wavy Jedi mind tricks. Scientists require proof. So like any self-respecting biologist, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. That man is none other than Adam Carlson, a young hotshot professor and well-known ass, which is why Olive is positively floored when Stanford's reigning lab tyrant agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend. But when a big science conference goes haywire, putting Olive's career on the Bunsen burner, Adam surprises her again with his unyielding support and even more unyielding six-pack abs. Suddenly, their little experiment feels dangerously close to combustion, and Olive discovers that the only thing more complicated than a hypothesis on love is putting her own heart under the microscope. It's like crazy how much like I'm a mood reader, that when I read the backs of books at certain times, like I'm like, oh, okay, and then certain times I'm like, oh, this sounds good. Now reading all these books, I'm like, oh, I need to get into that because I think I'm just like in the mood for that. Next thing, on Honeymooners. I probably had this book for like a year. I don't know y'all. I don't know. I haven't read it. Christina Lauren, this is a duo. They wrote it. On Honeymooners. Olive Torres is used to being the unlucky twin. From inexplicable mishaps to a recent layoff, her life seems to be almost comically jinxed. By contrast, her sister Amy is an eternal champion. She even managed to finance her entire wedding by winning a slew of contests. Unfortunately for Olive, the only thing worse than constant bad luck is having to spend the wedding day with the best man and her nemesis Ethan Thomas. Olive braces herself for wedding hell, determined to put on a brave face, but when the entire wedding party gets food poisoning, the only people who aren't affected are Olive and Ethan. Suddenly there's a free honeymoon up for grabs, and Olive will be darned if Ethan gets to enjoy paradise solo. Agreeing to a temporary truce, the pair head for Maui. After all, 10 days of bliss are worth having to assume the role of loving newlyweds, right? But the weird thing is, Olive doesn't mind playing pretend. In fact, the more she pretends to be the luckiest woman alive, the more it feels like she might be. Now this sounds like a good like vacation read, and I do have a vacation coming up, so I might save this one to bring with me then, because I am going to bring probably one book that I'll start and try to finish throughout while I'm there. So maybe I'll bring that one. And then y'all, please don't say anything. I already know. I'm ashamed. I had all those videos of TBRs that I have not gotten through, but I know if you're true to the book community, you know sometimes you don't ever read your TBR. You say you're gonna read it and you don't, and it's hard to stick to it as a mood reader. But y'all, we got Powerless that we still have to read, okay? And we're gonna read it. I promise. In these next 3 months, we're gonna read it. Summer, we're gonna read this because I know that the second one came out. So ridiculous that I haven't read it. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilya and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Peyton Gray, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. But when she unwittingly saves one of Ilya's princes, Kai Iser, she's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elites' powers. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will if he discovers what Peyton is, completely ordinary. So yeah, and I know my girl Bethany read this, so I'm gonna ask her how it was. That's just her opinion. This one. it's time. So yeah, that is all I have for you guys. That is the 10 books that I plan on reading from now until the end of the first week of September. And I probably will just do like a whole bunch of like bookish vlogs, reading vlogs, instead of like a whole bunch of sit down videos telling you about books that I want to read and then I don't read. So y'all don't have to be, you know, like this girl be putting out these videos and she don't even be reading the books. So we're gonna do reading vlogs and we're gonna make it really fun, and we're gonna do some challenges to get through these books, and that's pretty much going to be my content for this summer. So like nice fun challenges, reading vlogs, bookish vlogs, all the things. So these are the 10 books. I can't wait. If you guys have read any of these books, please let me know your thoughts down below without spoiling anything, of course, but let me know if you read these books that you want to read out of here, books that maybe you have also in this pile that have been sitting on your bookshelf that you want to read and still haven't read. So let me know, and thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
The reason why